folks, welcome back once again to Hot Takes with Boss. And today I have extreme pleasure of bringing on my brother, my friend, fellow business owner and world changer, Mr. Thierry Myrthil. And we're gonna be talking. We got a good topic today, folks. We got a good topic. A lot of folks have been talking about this topic, but he's gonna break it down for us, and we're gonna do some banter. So before we get going, Thierry, say it the right way. My man, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell people who you are and what are you doing out in this world.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, Mr. Henderson, my guy, man. Everybody, my name is Thierry Myrthil. I am an ambassador representing the kingdom, and I am here to bring enlightenment, to everybody. And I am a truck driver by trade, also a business owner, network marketing, MLM, whatever you want to call it, providing services for residential and also commercial. So just out here looking to make a difference in the world, and that's what we're here to do, and that's what we're all about.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
So, I appreciate Theory, because theory is when I always talk about having people in your circle that you have given permission to tell you the truth, to call you out. And Theory is one of mine. He's one of the folks that has full 100% clearance to call BS on anything that comes out of my mouth, hold me accountable, and basically just break me down like, bro, I ain't feeling that. And we all need people like that in our lives. But today, me and him we always get on this topic, and it comes back to purpose and why you believe you're here. And in Theory, being a man of God, we're both believers in Jesus Christ, and all that means for us. And as you're searching for whatever enlightenment, whatever connection to how you feel whole while you're in that search, this is where we find our peace, and this is where we find our joy, and where we find our purpose is the way that we connect to the kingdom of God through Jesus Christ. So, Theory, as you talk about purpose for yourself, man, when somebody says, "What's your purpose?" What does that mean to you?
First and foremost, this going to the definition. Purpose to me is basically the original intent, the original intent into why you were made, why you were created, why you in existence. We know everything has a purpose. Everything created has a purpose. The fly that you don't like outside of your barbecue when you grill it has a purpose. The microwave, I like to use that as an example, has a purpose. And it's basically just doing the thing in which it was created to do. So we know that if the microwave is not warming up the food, it's not fulfilling its purpose. If whatever the heater is not heating up your room, it's not fulfilling its purpose. So it's the same thing with us. The original intent to why, we were created here, put on this earth to do. So that's what purpose is to me. And, everything is, it's the connector. Everything is connected to purpose. So everything we do has to have a purpose. And so I always say, like, the word why, we all say why. Why is basically what it is purpose. So in a nutshell. So yes, sir.
Good stuff, man. And so when I think about it, and we start talking about purpose, and again, the other P word that folks throw into the game, is passion. And people try to use passion and purpose synonymously. And I like the example of passion is the fuel that moves the car, right? Like you said, the fly is going to be the fly, the duck is going to be the duck. But if it's not acting in accordance with what it was made to do, then it's out of alignment. Regardless of why it's out of alignment, it's still a duck, it's still a fly. And I see the same thing about us. We were purposed to do a thing, regardless of what we're passionate about, or if we say we're gifted and talented in all these other areas. Like you said, you drive trucks as a trade, right? That ain't what you was put on earth to do is to drive trucks, right? That's just a way for you to connect to the world. And then through that, it's a messenger, it's a fuel to get you to the destination and to actually, win others towards Christ and be light in a different arena. And so for you, when people say, when you just toss that out there, and I ain't gonna let you just go by it, when somebody asks the question, the why, right? Why is it important to have your why answered?
I mean, if you break it down, I mean, like the why is, it has to be answered because everything's connected to it. So, for example, I would say like it goes back to like the things you watch, for example, the books you read, the associations that you have, the relationships that you build, always comes back to your purpose, to why why you have this relationship, or why are you watching this, or why are you reading these books. Everything is connected to it because, again, you said something about passion, and passion it comes from your purpose. Like I said, everything comes from purpose. There's another aspect to that, and it's that gift. I like to call it the seed of greatness that's placed within us, that we have to fulfill our purpose. I try not to get really, really, really deep, but if we go back to, for example, everybody knows the Garden of Eden. Everybody knows the story. Everybody understands, what the story is. But if we go back to the beginning, everything was created. God said to the man, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the earth. And so I always go back to that. I always go back to the foundation of things. And the foundation of that is that he puts you here, and he tells you exactly what you're supposed to be doing. So he actually gives us our purpose. So now he gives us the seed to fulfill that purpose. So that is what we got to use. And that's where the passion comes in. And going back to one of your podcasts I was listening to with Mr. Kinston Henderson, also podcast, he was talking about deployment into purpose. And I thought that was a great topic. But it raised the question, though, and it kind of goes backwards, and it comes back to the why. Like, okay, like what is it that you have that you getting ready to be deployed in? Yeah. So I think that a lot of people sometimes don't have the answer to that. And that's why it's so dear to my heart, because I myself, as a product of not understanding why I was placed here. For a while I was lost, and until I got connected again. And so, I had a conversation actually this past week with an individual, he's 51 years old. He came up to me and said that his birthday was actually last Sunday. This was Monday, actually. So he came and said, man, I always feel some type of way around this time. I always feel, heavy, like heavy-hearted, just discontent. And it's because he doesn't know what is it that he's put here to do. Yeah. And he looked like he was really distraught, like, he had an issue with that. So I looked at, I saw it, spoke to him, great opportunity to be able to, share with him some things. Mm-hmm. And it kind of really raised the question, and then went back to your podcast, like, wait a minute. A lot of us don't know what we are here to do. Mm-hmm. It is big, and I want this podcast to minister to a lot of different people, because I believe that the majority don't know the why, and to me that is big time, man. We got to get that why situated.
For sure. And I want to hit on some things and possibly just structure it and shape it in a different way, because everything you're talking about that seed, those seeds that are on the inside of us that we nurture and that grow into what we call skills and expertise. right? Or talents and different things like that, right? It's people multiplying. And again, like me, from a operational and strategy perspective, I could do those things, right? I can see outcomes. I'm gifted to see the people I play chess. I don't play checkers. And I know how to put people in places that they're supposed to go. And I'm a natural connector. Those are all birthed out of my purpose. And if you don't fully nurture and embrace those things you were given, then you're ultimately shortchanging your purpose and how impactful you're supposed to be. And I think the simplicity of being a fisher of men or being salt and light in the earth, like people want the purpose to be bigger than that, right? They want winning souls to be this shooting star in this just galaxy earth shattering thing. But ultimately, you're supposed to do it in the way that you're supposed to do it.
Absolutely.
Like, and me and you always talk about, if I was to walk into a break room or a room full of truck drivers, I couldn't, the language of downshifting, like I couldn't talk it. That's you, that's your lane.
Exactly.
But where we all have this overlapping connection is we're all people. And I think people get really, really deep when they say we can't walk into a hospital and connect with anybody. Well, I'm not trying to connect with a doctor, a nurse practitioners, anesthesiologists. I'm not trying to connect with them. I'm trying to connect with the person, not the profession. And I think that's where we start to muddle things up, is when we get out of the talents and what we're gifted to do. And I think when we talk about purpose, is how are we letting our light shine through what we've been gifted with, right? Instead of letting the gift lead versus the purpose and why we're doing the thing in the first place. And I think that's the part that a lot of people need to get clear on, is what am I letting lead and where am I leading from? My crazy wife, if she's listening to me, she I always get back to this place of what's serving you, your values or your ability to do a thing. And I think that ultimately comes out in how we live our life, right? Because if we're going to take and do what Christ did, we have to model it the way that he did, by taking the stance of I'm addressing the person first, not what they're capable of providing me or doing for me. I'm talking to a person first. And I think that's from a purposeful standpoint. I think that's the connection, right? That's where we start from. And so how are you doing it, right? Break it down for people, like in its simplest form. Like you just said, you brought up that your coworker and he just looked like he had a need. Like, talk to somebody who they don't feel bold enough to have that conversation.
Well, I mean, it begins with, this one question. If I was to ask, like, okay, who are you? Who are you? Who are you is, I'm saying, who are you as a person, as an individual, not what you do. We always hear the saying, I am. I am the bread of life. I am the door. I am the shepherd. I am, because you see, we have to first know who we are. Okay, we have to first know who we are. Now, in this case, talking about my coworker, knowing who I am and what I possess, I saw it. I saw the opportunity right away, because if it wasn't me, the person, who it is that I am, I would not be able to respond to him and actually met his need, because he was looking for something. Okay, so if I was at that individual, I wouldn't be able to give it that to him. Now, who do I know? I know Boss Lad. I know Lawrence Henderson. I said, wait a minute. Henderson, Mr. Henderson can definitely handle that. So I could pass him over to you, because I know who you are and what you possess. You see, so it was natural to me to be able to give it to him, because as I was talking to him, I said, look, perfect example of what we were talking about. I said, what I'm doing right now with you is what I do. This is who I am. And I said every single one of us has a seed. And it's just about identifying that seed, that's where everything disconnects. It's like because most people don't know what that seed is and what it looks like. Mm-hmm. So me being able to give that to him really brought him, to light. Like, oh my God, like, this is deep. What you're saying is deep. And to him is deep. But to me, it's really basic in the sense that, you have something, brother. You have something to give us. And it's natural to you. It's birthed in you. You came with it. You have the potential to fulfill the purpose in which you were called. He placed whatever he calls for, he provides for. So that's why I like to say. So therefore, I'm like, look, what you have is to serve me. What I have is to serve you. And that's just the way it is. We all have this gift on the inside. It's to serve each other, our gift. And it's also our wealthy place as well. Okay, that's where that you can talk on that for a little while. You've been deployed yourself, naturally. Naturally. A lot of times, I'm talking to you and you like, ooh, this is, yeah, like, because that lane, who you are.
Yeah.
You see, you know who you are, you know what you have. If it's not your place, immediately you're like, okay, this is not me. Yeah. I mean, and you don't have to fight it. You don't have to fight it. A lot of times, what we see out here is that people are trying to be someone that they're not. Okay, they're being told who they are because they don't know who they are. Okay, so if you don't know who you are, somebody's going to tell you who you are. Okay, so it's very important, man. This topic here, man. I mean, it's everything. It's everything. It is everything, man. And I just want people to be able to recognize, how do you recognize what it is that you have? Man. How do you recognize what it is that you have? And to me, that is the basis of what we're talking about right here. How do you identify that?
Yeah, and I think when you say it like that, man, when it comes down to, the identification, and I think this is where you have to be dedicated to spending that time, right? To get quiet and understand that this is bigger than a profession. This is bigger than a talent or a skill. Right. And the purpose that we're talking about how are you supposed to impact humanity, right? When it's all said and done, and there's a word always used called, legacy, right? And they always use the illustration when we're at your funeral. What are the 5 to 10 people going to say that get up and talk about you, right? Are the stories going to be connected, or are they going to be so different because you were different things to different people? And again, some people may know you as, Theory the truck driver. Some people may know you as minister. Some people may know you as elder. Some people may know you as father. But when they begin to tell the story, yes, they identified you through a profession or a label, but the stories are the same. And they were experiencing the same person in those different hats, right? And so, and it's like Jesus. They tried to call him the carpenter. They tried to call him Joseph and Mary's son. That's just Mary and Joseph's son. That's just Mary. And that's, that's the dude from Nazareth. That's the dude from Nazareth. Like or you just straight up, you a Jew. I ain't got nothing to do with you. You're a label. But when it was all said and done, his purpose was Savior.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
And that was the same story, no matter anybody, how they encountered him. Ultimately, he set up the opportunity for salvation. Yep. And that was the story that was told forevermore, right? Exactly. And I think for all of us, it's what are you connecting to that cause that's bigger than you? And then which story do you care about more? Do you care about the profession more, or do you care about the ultimate sacrifice of using your life as an example to connect others to have the opportunity for a bigger purpose and a bigger cause?
Yeah.
And I think that's what's important to me
Yeah,
is
very
doing
important.
stuff like this. Yep.
Nah, very important, very important. Because at the end of the day, like we're talking about purpose. So for me, it's you know me knowing that okay, I'm a person. I'm an encourager. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
first and foremost, I'm here to encourage. I'm here to build you up. Okay, edify you, and I'm here to point you in the way that you're supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore, you're not, it's not going to be based upon. I'm not going to give you my opinion. Okay, because I don't give you my opinion. I direct you according to the truth, and that's what it's all about. Because ultimately, it's the truth that's going to set you free. It's not a man. It's not anything else but the truth that's going to set you free. So what I'm here to do is to be that seed. Okay, it's to plant that seed. So I'm not the one giving the increase. I just simply sow the seed. Okay, so you come to me, we have a conversation, we talking, and I'm hear what you're saying. Okay, how does this? How can I help you with this? Okay, all right. Here's the truth about it. Okay, so I give you the truth because I believe the truth will always resonate in someone's spirit, deep
Mm-hmm.
down in somebody's heart. That truth would resonate. Now you may not, you know, a person may not act like maybe right there in front of you, like okay, like they receive something, but you best believe when you hear the truth, it goes to the human spirit level. It really goes down deep. It doesn't matter if you're a Buddhist or a Muslim or it doesn't matter what you represent or claim to represent, the truth, which is the original information, okay, will always resonate with your inner man. Like I like to call it, with your heart. It'll seep in there. And that's all we're here to do in our own different unique way is to sow the seed. Okay, you know about the parable of the talents. So it's you giving something to go do business with. In other words, you have to deposit it, and someone comes behind you and waters it, and then and that's basically what it is. Sometimes I water, sometimes I'm sowing seed. Okay, but that's the function. So understanding our function is very, very, very critical. So that's basically what I focus on. I focus on that, from within the house first, and then we spread it out. We go out there, okay, because that's where the light is more effective. Our light is more effective in the darkness. Darkness not simply mean we ain't talking about not being to see, but it's talking about basically just not being aware, being ignorant. So and that's what we're here to do. So
Yeah.
I stay fed, I stay building up, so I have something to give you, and that's what it's all about because it matters to me. It matters to me because I understand this is what I'm here to do. You know what I mean? This is what we're here to do. It's about people. It's about it's about the person, the soul. It's everybody's a person first. Okay, it's not about professions or anything like that. This is about you as a person. How can I serve you? How can I deposit into you something that's valuable, that's gonna hold you down, not just for today, but for tomorrow, year after that. And not only that, for you to be able to pass it on one day and say, look, this is what I have for you. Like, man, where did you get this from? Don't worry about it. Just take it, just take it, just take it, just take it, man. But it's very critical, man. This recognizing this is what we're here to do, and you doing it, man. And I applaud you, man. Like, I'm watching you, as I move along, out there moving around, and I'm able to see some of the clips, some of the videos, some of the podcasts, and that's exactly what it is that you're doing. And I applaud you for that, and you continue to shine that light on the people, man. You have it all in you, bro. I'm telling you, man, the potential, you're only scratching the surface of the iceberg. So, I can't wait to see, all the great things that you're gonna be doing, man. For real. Yes, sir.
Man, I appreciate it, bro. And and I love the point that you just made about that parable of the talents. And and not the one thing that I would want to tell people who are listening, particularly to that portion right there, man, is don't discount or undervalue what you're currently doing, because what you're currently doing is necessary. And I always tell people, don't look to the left or look to the right, read your own life resume, because it's all there for a reason. And like you said, it's somebody else plants, somebody else waters. There's a harvest that's coming, and you have to know your role. You have to play your role.
Yes,
You could be
100%.
the cashier at the grocery store. If you loaded up and you took that time to sit with the Lord in the morning before you went out that house, and you girded up your loins and you got the sword of the spirit out, and you got in your word, you always are ready to deliver and to sow, and again, without hoarding again, so you could go back up, fill up, so you can continue to give. And you got, if you don't play your role, you out of position.
Yeah,
And
out of
so
position.
until you get to where Christ is moving you in each season, you have to be respectful of the season you're in, and prepare each and every day to be used. And I love that you said that, because again,
Absolutely.
get away from saying I'm just a this, I'm just a that. No, you're necessary. You are
Yes,
so necessary where you are. And
absolutely.
I appreciate that, bro.
Absolutely, man. And you know, the thing about it too, man, you know, like I shared with the individual I was talking to,
Mhm.
you know, I said, you know, if one of the ways to recognize your, you know, what you possess is is it, it has everything to do with everybody else and not yourself. Okay, it actually disconnects you from yourself. You become selfless. You know, because it's about the people. It's not about you. It's not a selfish ambition. You know, it has everything to do with the next person. It's
Yeah.
service, and you know that's one of the ways to recognize what it is that you're, what you have. And you know, our culture is not responsible for teaching us that. We know we've been taught. You know, go to school.
Mhm.
You know, get an education. Go to college so you can get a good job. You know, and find a career path. You know, that pays a lot of money, and that's basically it. You know, they don't teach us, okay, what do you have? What is your gift? What do you, you know, what is your passion? Like, what do you know, what comes natural to you? Like, we're not taught to, you know, find that thing that we have to serve our generation. We're not taught that. And so therefore I like to always point people in the direction and where they should go, which is go back to your manufacturer. Okay, you want to know what you have, go to your manufacturer. Like the manufacturer know what you possess because he placed it on the inside of you. So get connected ASAP. And that's exactly what I told him. I said, look, okay, who knows better? Who knows more about this vehicle sitting right here? This Mercedes Benz sitting right here to your left. Who knows more about that Mercedes Benz? The manufacturer, me and you, like we just know what we know. They know why they created it to go 140 miles an hour. They know why they put the button over here and not over here. Like they know every detail about that product, and you don't know it. So you have to go to your manufacturer, and that's what I like to tell everybody. Just go this way. Go find out. Speak to them. Ask them. Hey, look, what do I have? You placed in me. What do I have? Like let me know. You know, and you know you have to search for it. It's not something that comes, you know, by osmosis or you know by luck. You have to search for that. You gotta want to know it. And you know, I just want everybody just look, seek it, seek for it. I'm telling you, it'll give it to you. And you know, we need it. Everybody's necessary. You know, we are necessary, man. We are. Indeed.
Appreciate you, man, and I appreciate you
Absolutely.
hanging out with me today. And just like I said, man, I knew you was gonna drop some bombs, and some nuggets out there for the people, man. So how can people connect with you? I know you said you have some other things out there, some business things that people can connect with, and some resources for folks. So how can folks find you, man?
Find me on IG, find me on Facebook, just look me up. You know, I'm not really big on social media like that, but you know, I do have a website as well, you know, the business tmyrthil.acnibo.com. You could just check it out. You know, I got some great products, some great things going on with that. But yeah, You can find me on the gram, man. I love it's how we connect, man. You know, this virtual thing going on right now it's awesome. It's awesome, man. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
it is, man. Well, hey,
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing some time with us, brother, and you'll be back on, man. Just let me know the topic, and we'll load it back up to get you back on, man.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. I do some leadership next time. Yeah.
Oh, you
Oh
already
yeah.
know. You
Yeah,
already know.
yeah.
All
I
right,
got
brother.
you.
Well, hey, until next time, man, everybody out there, be safe, be vigilant, and continue to connect the dots and know you are enough to be what you need to be for this world. Go after it. See y'all later.